Welcome to Professionally Profane Pro Wrestling Episode 9. Almost at the double digits. It'll be our anniversary, and you guys have to buy us gifts. That's how this works. But
yeah,
I'm here with my homie, my trusted confidant, my partner in crime, Fayyaz. How are you doing today, bro?
I am doing great. We are 2 weeks away. Can't be
We
more
are
than excited. Yeah. How
two
are you
two
doing, my
weeks away.
friend?
I'm good. I'm great. My favorite basketball team just fired someone I hate a lot, and CM Punk absolutely ate Roman Reigns for breakfast yesterday, lunch and dinner. So
You think maybe that's why that correlated with that fire promo? Maybe it was just a great day for him as a Chicago guy, you know?
maybe I know he's not really much of a Bulls fan. Like that's probably he's he's a baseball and hockey guy, which is funny because that's the opposite of me. I'm like a football and basketball guy, but
more upset
you know,
Carmelo is
I would like.
on the run.
What is that? Are you watching yourself? That's weird.
No, I was trying
just
trying to send the link.
Got you. I got you. But yeah, we've got some good talk coming on today. I'm excited to discuss the happenings of Monday Night Raw yesterday. I mean, it wasn't the best Raw, but we had some reveals, and it's just one of those things. The build has been excruciating a little bit at times, but I also know that like the card is good, dude. When you look at the card, it's like, damn, this is gonna like the actual event's gonna kick ass.
I think so. Yeah.
But yeah, the build definitely could be better. And we'll talk about it. Because I mean, right off the bat, we'll talk about the guy who opened Monday Night Raw, and that is my boy CM Punk, Phil Brooks, who once again had to carry this program on his back because Roman Reigns can't be bothered to show up to Monday Night Raw despite being 2 weeks away from WrestleMania. I mean, give me a break. I know that he's your boy, Fayyaz, but can we hold him accountable a little bit for this crap? Yeah? Yeah. I know it makes you sad to go against your tribal chief, but I mean, the guy just needs to come to work, please.
I mean, if you didn't have to go to work, would you go to work?
It's a little different. I mean, I feel like if I was appearing on WrestleMania, I'd go to work. Yeah.
I would too.
Yeah. I mean, you can't, you just think about it. I know traveling sucks, but other than the travel, like, it does not make him excited anymore. That's what bothers me a little bit. It's like, does this really feel like a job to you where like you're not excited anymore to walk through that curtain? Because if it's not amping you up, dude, if you're not getting like that dopamine high that everyone talks about in wrestling, everyone says it's the best thing of all time. If you're not getting that, bro, it's not making you want to come to these events, then what are we doing here? I would understand if it was some one-off event, but like if it's WrestleMania or if it's SummerSlam, I feel like you've got to be there for the whole build once a week. It's once a week.
I mean, he did get put through a table last week, so maybe
okay. I'll accept that slightly. That's
it sells it
a little bit, but it's like, I mean, then I guess I wish he would have beat him down even more then, because I mean that powerbomb Punk gave him was like not even that devastating. I mean, I couldn't believe that CM Punk pulled it off. He almost didn't get him all the way up. Like I could see he struggled there with the flip because Roman Reigns is a big motherfucker.
Yeah.
Dude. Punk is not normally a muscle man. That is actually a sign he's bigger than he's ever been. It's funny if you actually look at a picture of old Punk, he's much bigger than he was back in the day. But
yeah.
Yeah, so overall, I mean, look, if Punk had to carry the program on his own two shoulders, at least he did a good job because he spit hot fire. I mean, he went in on Roman Reigns, and I don't want to paraphrase too much because I feel like you should go watch it. Like, he did say like my headline here, my sub headline is Roman Reigns eats dog food. He said that Roman Reigns was too busy eating dog food for a weird old man, which was absolute fire. Vince is still catching strays here in the good year of 2026. And then he said stuff. What I liked about the promo was that he wasn't even taking the crowd shit. He's been pretty quiet this whole time about how they chant OTC. He's like kind of taking it and hasn't said anything. But this time he was like, yeah, go ahead, chant his name. It's not going to make him show up here. It's just like, damn. Like, and to the crowd, some of the crowd still wanted to chant OTC, but I'll give the crowd credit because they did then chant CM Punk pretty loudly. I can't remember. I feel like he had another fire line, but basically a promo about how he, that the TKO can't control him. I thought it was smart for him to reference TKO. He said to lower the ticket prices.
I love that.
What's that?
I love that.
Yeah. He called out Pat McAfee. Well, it does directly, like Pat McAfee's one of his criticisms while he was ranting on Randy or on Cody was, the seats for WrestleMania aren't even sold out yet. CM Punk's like, well, maybe if like the ticket prices were lower, which is true. Every year, like when we went to WrestleMania, bro, we went at 39, which was thank God we went to that, right? Because that was the last year that WWE wasn't owned by TKO. That deal went down when we were there. Like, so we didn't have to pay those prices. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember how much you paid? And you had pretty good seats.
Yeah. The other thing too is like I had the bundle, so I had 2 nights, same seats.
Same. Do you remember how much your seats were?
USD, I think it was around like 1,100, 1,300.
Okay, but you had like premium. Like you had some fucking good seats.
Yeah, they're like they did look very small, but that's also because it is like a football stadium. It wasn't bad. Like I could still like watch it from where I am, where they didn't look like tiny ants.
That's what it looked like for me.
Yeah, fair enough. I remember talking to you about this in the lobby, but like after the first night when we went, I was like, you know what? They're not that bad. I did time to time look up at the big screen up above, but then I was just like, you know what? Like we're here. Why stare at the screen?
I try not to do that.
Beautiful screen, by the way. That building is beautiful. I've gone there 3 times now.
Oh man,
phenomenal.
SoFi, yeah, that's the first and only time I've been there, and that is a beautiful stadium.
But the upgrade for on-site, because me and my friend JJ were thinking about it, we're like, hey, maybe we'll upgrade for day 2. And we looked into it, but it was just like too hard to justify. And at that time, like it wasn't that crazy of a jump. It probably was like an extra 500 or whatever. But oh man, just couldn't pull the trigger on it.
I mean, so I'll say this, like for our seats, like we had the bundle as well. For both days of Mania, I want to say that it was only like $200 something. So we were definitely ballers on budgets. But I mean, we got what we. I mean, we were up there though. I mean, they were small. I did have to look at the. We had a pretty. It's different though because you're not looking from the side, so we had a good vantage point where we could see everything that was going on. Mm-hmm. It was bad for the Hell in a Cell match. I'll say that. That was tough to watch. But that was
tough, yeah.
But overall, well, the point I'm trying to make is that we were able to go despite all of us. Well, 2 of my friends they had pretty good jobs. I didn't at the time. My job was like, I was like working at like a barbecue place. What year was that? I'm trying to remember.
2023.
I was in the Army. I'm tripping, but yeah, they weren't paying me that well. They weren't paying me that well though. Army, I was a junior enlisted. They don't pay that well. So basically, you know, what I'm trying to say is we were able to fly into LA, stay all week because we went to SmackDown and Raw as well. And you know, fly in, fly out, stay the whole time. We were able to make that happen despite our limited budgets, because tickets weren't that pricey. Now, going to WrestleMania is an expense, baby. It is not cheap. No matter where you want to sit.
No.
Like you're talking 1,100 for where you sat last time. That's probably how much it is in the rafters now where I was sitting.
Yeah.
Like, and if you get them secondhand, good luck, bro. Like, you gotta really try and get those babies like fresh, not from someone else. So it's you know they're wondering why tickets aren't selling out. I mean, they've got a giant stadium, and the people that like you're asking people that are decently well off to basically go to an event like they're broke. You know, like those rafter seats are usually reserved for lower class, but the lower class has been priced out. So, you know, I don't know, you know, it's tough. Plus it's in Vegas. That's not helping ticket prices. So overall, I don't know what the, you know, I want to say that TKO really needs to take a look at that because the ticket prices are insane these days for WWE events. And you know, it used to be about, you know, it used to be something that the fans, any fan could go and watch, and they're pricing some of their fans out. So I hope that that does get addressed. At the end of the show too, I'd like to talk a little bit about the TKO news, but I'll let you lead it on that. But we'll wait till the end of the show to talk about that angle of it all. But overall, I want to get your thoughts on the CM Punk promo before we move on.
Fire. Like, insane. The fact that, like, you said it earlier, like, the crowd is, like, reacting the other way. They're cheering OTC. He kept going, and by the end of the promo, they were cheering for him. Like, what else more can you say about that? That is GOAT level ability. It's like how Jordan-esque. Jordan comes to town. Jordan comes to town. He's in Utah. Yeah, he's hated probably there, but he might come to another city, drop 60. They might cheer for him.
Yeah,
but
when you're that great,
I also the other thing I was gonna say, just to throw in this, is like the crowd these days. It just feels like it's almost forced. Like the timing sometimes, or the way they respond at them, makes no sense. They booed Harley Race. They said what over Harley Race? That to me was just kind of like, okay,
can we kill the what? Can we kill what?
Yes.
I hate that so much.
Please kill the what. It's
disrespectful. Like, do that to a wrestler that you don't want to see. Like, if you're gonna what somebody that's really bad because you're trying to send a message that you're more interested in marking out for yourself, because that's what that is. Yeah. It's the crowd marking out for itself.
Yeah. And I think the other thing too is like the what chance becomes like you want to be a part of the crowd and doing it. I mean, you pay your ticket, you're allowed to do whatever you want when you're there. Cheer wise. But yeah, I don't know. It almost feels like the IQ is low.
The leader.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
So yeah, it's usually just a few people in the crowd that love to hear themselves, and so yeah, they start doing it, and then everyone follows suit. When I'm in the crowd, I like to boo that. I boo when someone starts doing that shit. Because it's like, dude, grow up. I mean, it depends on who you're wanting, like I said, but yeah. Stone Cold didn't make that chant or didn't come up with that catchphrase so that you could shit on good wrestlers' promos. Like, I will say that the best wrestlers do know how to change up their cadence when they're talking so that they stop giving them like they end at different intervals of their like cadence so that it like kind of kills what chance if you're good enough at it. CM Punk kind of did it recently. I can't remember if it was this week or last week. But yeah, I hate the what chance. And I agree. Like, I wish there was more creative crowds. A lot of them are just following what the crowd last week did.
This is awesome. I hate This Is Awesome.
Really? That's interesting. Why?
Because it's not always awesome. Like suicide dive, and you're like, this is awesome. It's like you see a suicide dive almost every other week now. And sometimes it's not even like that great of a hit that you're like, this is awesome. There's certain times where This Is Awesome makes sense, but also there's not a lot of like holy shit moments for like the This Is Awesome. You know, it almost kind of takes away the lure, in my opinion, when I'm watching.
That's fair. I feel like This Is Awesome should be spared for a match that has like a false finish or two, and at the wrestlers are like executing at like if you were gonna rate the match afterwards, it's like a 9 or higher. Those matches warrant a This Is Awesome chant. But or my favorite This Is Awesome chant ever is when the Wyatts and the Shield did a stare down at Elimination Chamber. Yeah. And they hadn't even touched each other. They were just looking at each other, and the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." That was amazing because that was pure aura, dude. I loved it. I show that match to like some of my friends that like if they're like on the fence about wrestling or they don't know, like that's one of the matches I pull out and I'm like, watch this, and if you don't like it, then you probably don't like wrestling. But you know, solid match, great match. Bring back. Yeah. I mean, I wish there's not enough. There's groups in WWE these days, but they're having a hard time reaching the level of like the Shield and the Wyatts were S tier. Groups, which is surprising. It came in the Vince era, but like those groups were so good. We haven't had a faction that memorable. And like Judgment Day was around for a long time, but
almost 3 years now, I would say.
Yeah, but they're not that. They're not up there with the Shield or the Wyatt family.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, 100%.
The Bloodline, yes, because of the storyline. Yeah. Other than that, though, I don't know. It's tough. I can't think of any other groups that have really made their mark like that. No. The White Six. Just kidding.
Get out of here. I'll have to leave
JK. But all right. So, I'm trying to think. There was no there wasn't any more stuff to talk about in the CM Punk promo. Just want to say that like you really owe it to yourself to go and watch it because it's really good.
Yeah.
I texted Fayyaz afterwards and I was like, Punk is the GOAT on the mic. And honestly, I think he might be. I know that that's debatable, but the conversation doesn't include very many names.
Top three?
Top three? CM Punk, The Rock, and John Cena. When he wanted to. What do you think?
I think John Cena doesn't get enough appreciation for his promos.
He owned The Rock in their first promo battle, like the first time they ever fought. He killed him. I was shocked.
Like, especially when he was doing his like babyface stuff, like everyone that was booing him, obviously they were just a little bit of a John Cena fatigue, but his promos were fire. That whole John Cena and The Rock WrestleMania was great. Both of them.
Yeah.
And even when they got that mix up with like Miz and R-Truth, like even that was like good too.
I agree. I thought that feud to me, that won me. I was at a point with Cena at that point in his career where I was really sick of him. And I just really had Cena fatigue. I was tired of him always winning. Cena wins, LOL. And Cody's got a while to go before he gets there though. Cena was doing that for like 7 years, man.
Yeah, 100%. So this is the crazy part. I love that you just mentioned this, and yes, I did sprinkle that. But if people are getting fatigued right now with the whole Cody Rhodes stuff and the amount of times he's winning, you guys would have had meltdowns, like, because you are not going to be able to survive that.
During
Like
the Cena era?
That Cena era, like, I think some
no.
people, it's fans are fickle sometimes. They tend to forget. There might be some people that actually remember that era. There might be some fans that now forget it. And ironically, the same people that were booing him during that time on his retirement, on his way out, were just like, thank you, Cena. And like, I was one of them. There was a period of time where I hated Cena, but I can tell you there was 2 years where I was like, I cannot watch this anymore. I'm tired of seeing him winning. But that's also because, like, I was doing my own little fan fun in my head, and I wanted to see him turn heel.
Me too.
Not this way, but I wanted Thugonomics back.
Me too. Or just, I mean, I feel like his heel turn could have. Yeah, they botched what they originally what they did before he retired.
Yeah.
Him making it about like the fans, like it should have just been selfish. Him making it about the fans didn't make sense. It should have been like he was just like too. I don't know. Like he was buying into his own. I don't know.
I really like that one promo though that he did where he like went at the fans because it felt very real, because when he was talking about how you guys would boo me and you want this and you want that and you take and you take and you take, that was brilliant. But everything else, just yeah.
Yeah, saying he wanted to like kill the WWE is like, no, you don't, John. Like,
yeah, that one didn't make sense.
No, like that I'm gonna retire as the last true champ. Like, come on, John.
They made that one weird too. They made it very like almost like borderline like sad boy vibes.
Like, yeah, real emo.
I'm gonna take my belt so you don't forget who I am. Like,
yeah, real emo about it.
You're gonna create a new belt.
Yes, like it was. So yeah, there was. I'll agree that him going at the crowd, like him making the kid cry, beautiful, loved it. Sorry, kid. That stems the breaks, but like, I think so. We're talking about the Cena fatigue. Where he won me back was the Rock feud.
Yeah,
that Rock feud was when he woke me back up. Like, oh yeah, Cena is actually really good at this because he had been just going through the motions to that point, just going through the motions, and that was I think before CM Punk did the pipe bomb. I can't remember. They were around the same time period, but because I remember one of his like CM Punk said during the pipe bomb, he's like, the fact that I'm not in the main event of WrestleMania next year, but Dwayne makes me sick or something.
Yeah, I think that was also during the time where he was gonna end up facing like the Undertaker, and he did his best with that too.
Yeah. But like I had at that point been like, I was just so tired of Cena. I was like, go heel or I hate you. Like, go heel or I hate everything you do. But that Rock feud, like I stood up and I was like, hey, yo. That and then when he faced Roman Reigns the first time, he absolutely torched his ass. Like he burnt him down. He's like, it's the high exalted Roman Reigns. He like got down on one knee and he's like, there's something about he could do this better than him on his worst day, better than he ever could on his best day. Stuff like that. And like Roman was like stuttering over himself. Like Roman didn't know what to do. I'm glad they got to run it back when he was the tribal chief because Roman had leveled up so much by then and he could kind of redeem himself for for how bad it was.
He did the same thing with Cena, right? Like that's why it's so good that it's like he redeemed himself. Same thing with like the whole Undertaker thing, but like it's really cool to see when these stars like have a moment in time where it was just like they were in their low or they just were not ready, and then later on they just like catapult. Like you look at CM Punk's story, like I know you've been a long time fan of him, right? I loved him when he had his group where he tried to
Strange
elevate.
Society was goated.
That was ahead of its time.
Yes.
People that don't know what that group is about, go look back at it, because that
they could have went even further with it. They should have went further with it. They didn't trust Punk at that time.
No.
He actually got away with a bunch of stuff because they weren't paying attention to him because they just wanted him gone. He said that he did a lot of stuff on his own that they didn't they didn't know that he was low key like being Charles Manson and like trying to be straight edge wrestling Jesus. Like
when he sang to Ray's daughter.
Oh, that was so messed up.
That one of my really good friends sends me that exact YouTube video on my birthday of CM Punk singing to Aaliyah.
I love it.
Oh man, too funny. Right to censor. Steven Richards. That's so Steven Richards, right?
Yep, Stevie Richards, Bull Buchanan, and Ivory.
Forgot about that name.
That's a pull, ain't it? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the Good Father. I said Bull Buchanan. I think that was actually the Good Father, Stevie Richards. I don't think Bull Buchanan was in it. I don't think.
Wasn't that with Dave Bautista or Reverend Devon?
Reverend Devon and the Deacon. I don't think he was in Right to Censor.
No, he wasn't. I'm just saying that was Deacon.
Oh, yeah.
We're totally going off the rails again.
You're talking about sorry. Yeah, let's get back on track.
Let's go back to Raw. Let's go back to 2026.
Yeah, we were talking promos, but yeah, I mean,
we
encourage. And by the way, if we're ever talking and you guys are younger fans that don't know what we're talking about, man, we encourage you to like write it down. Go back. The one beautiful thing about wrestling is you could find all this stuff on YouTube easily. So go back and check it out, man, because like these are goated segments. You will love to watch them. But all right,
the Mexicools.
The Mexicools. I didn't really care. I didn't feel any type of way about them. I was indifferent to it.
They were sick. They came out on like that little whatever that thing's called.
See, you don't even know. Juventud group.
I'm blanking because I'm laughing so hard remembering the Mexicools coming out with like the grass cutter machine or whatever it's called.
The grass cutter machine. The Juventud Guerrero was cool though. I messed with Hoovy. It's Hoovy time. The Juice. He's part of that cruiserweight division on WCW. But all right, let's get back.
Super crazy.
Super crazy. He's super fat. No, he wasn't fat. Anyways, we get the we go into the Danhausen I Show Speed stuff next, and I'll give I Show Speed some credit here. I think he's playing his role well.
Jacked, by the way. When did he put on weight?
I don't know. I mean, he's ripped. I know that he's been training with Randy, like low key, like on the side for a while.
Oh, okay.
So, probably knew that he was going to do this, I assume. So
he doesn't want another spear from Braun. That's why maybe he put on some weight.
Probably, I'm sure. Yeah, Tim Tam's in my brain. I said it first, Tim Tam. But what's up, Ian? How you doing, brother? Good to see you. But what was I gonna say? So I Show Speed, I guess he must have known that he was gonna have this WrestleMania match, and he's been training, so he should be ready. I know that he's an athlete. I've seen some highlights of his training, and he looked decent. So he's definitely not trying to he's definitely trying to be more like Logan Paul and less like Jelly Roll. So Speed wants to be a wrestler, but probably doesn't want to commit full time. Yeah, I mean the thing for him too is that he's so like Logan Paul can't be a streamer like Speed. I mean, Speed is bigger than him, Logan Paul was like a he was doing like funny videos, but like Speed is like he's almost like Mr. Beast, and like in how many people
Gen
watch
Zs.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, for the Gen Zs, like Speed is huge. If anything, Speed getting in shape, getting in the ring is probably going to bring in a lot of new fans and maybe people that don't even know what the hell WWE is, or maybe they know what WWE is, but they were just like, I can't get into that. And then now Speed's in it. That's all it takes these days.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many kids that watch him on their phone like it's religion. So I'll say this, like Speed not being a wrestler full time is more than anything, maybe because it's probably a downgrade in pay. Like he gets paid so much money every time he presses live on his phone. It's a money machine. So
But I
like,
think one thing to add on what you're saying about like, yeah, he does probably make a lot of money. I'm sure he's probably paying for a lot of that stuff out of pocket too. I mean, I think it would be wise for WWE to invest in him. Maybe they like, I don't know, pay for his flight, pay for like, I don't know if they're gonna get him like a Cody size like traveling bus, but if they're paying for him to like fly over and
I
just do
mean,
stuff for like marketing, then he'll probably make a little bit of extra cash.
they are providing him. I mean, I would assume it's free training by Randy Orton. Like that's a pretty good perk. If you're gonna be trained by, it's like personalized training too. It's like I think it's more while
Pro
Randy's
wrestling.
traveling. Like Speed shows
Yeah.
up like at the arena and they like train at the
Yeah.
arena or whatever. Yeah, maybe the number on the contract, but think about WWE shop. True, he could probably make a killing in merch.
I'm sure
So
he'll probably have a code by now that, you go in there, you get a discount or something like that. So I think,
yeah,
not to stay too long on this topic, but I do think like when it comes to some of these celebrities that do make the leap and they're here on WWE, like if they have more of an impact where it's like they're not really taking away from any specific person, they're just kind of being like added in.
yeah.
Like I know it's a hot topic right now because of like Pat McAfee and Jelly Roll and I Show Speed and Little Yachty, like all that. Like I think if anyone, like I Show probably adds more value to the company. Um, Jelly Roll maybe. Little Yachty's just he's a fan, right? So like, why take that moment away from him? I don't think like someone's gonna come at me and be like, "Well, Melo's not on the card, or Ilya's not on the card, and these guys are in the card." It's like, yeah, but like it fitted into a storyline. When there's no storyline, people complain.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's WrestleMania. You go back in history, we were talking about history.
Celebrities have always been a part of it.
Always.
Always.
Always. I guarantee you, for those of you that hate the celebrity involvement, if you went on Google and typed in a list of celebrities that have been part of WrestleMania since the first one, you're going to see some names that you'll be like, who the hell is that? You might even ask your mom or your grandma and be like, who's this lady? And you'll
Dude,
be
I'm
shocked.
pretty sure like Lawrence Taylor or something had a match on like the original WrestleMania or like the second there was a football player who had a match on one of the first WrestleManias. I can't remember who it was. I know that the Fridge William Perry at one point worked with WWE. Shout out to
Crazy.
my fellow Chicago Bear, but like I want to know which WrestleMania it was. It was like okay, so the first WrestleMania, it was William Perry. He was in the 20-man body slam challenge at WrestleMania 1. And then WrestleMania, I know that there was Lawrence Taylor. I was correct. Lawrence Taylor. I mean, Rob Gronkowski's been there. So if you actually, Lawrence Taylor WrestleMania.
There's a lot of big names that have been part of it, especially actors. I think it's more heightened now because there's so much to post about on social media.
Mainstream.
But like, yeah, there's Pamela Anderson. Don't search certain things about Pamela Anderson, please. But yeah, she was a valet for Diesel at WrestleMania when he faced off against Shawn Michaels. There's also Michael Che, Johnny Knoxville, I mean, he had a match against Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Who,
Lawrence Taylor went 1-on-1 with Bam Bam Bigelow at WrestleMania 6.
Go.
Yeah.
Arnold Schwarzenegger, Mr. T.
The guy that Zeus that went against Hulk Hogan at one of the WrestleManias, that guy was an actor. And but they were in a movie together, and then they decided to put it on WrestleMania. So Ian, respectfully though, like, that's not a celebrity you love, but those guys are really loved. IShowSpeed's one of the most popular people in the entire world right now. Like, he's huge. I know that that's not marketed for you or me, but it is marketed towards an audience. Like, I mean, Pat McAfee is enormous. He's got a ton of fans. I'm trying to think. Logan Paul maybe isn't loved, but Logan Paul, he does have a lot of followers though. Like, doesn't he have the most followers on Twitter out of anybody? Something like that.
I'm not sure, but there's so many like big name artists, actors, you name it. Like, for fuck's sakes, Donald Trump was like at WrestleMania at one point. Like, you know,
I was there for that. He got Stone Cold Stunnered. And in that he was against Vince in the hair versus hair challenge or whatever.
Yeah.
Logan Paul has 6 million Twitter followers. Like, that's what it's about. It's about bringing eyes to the product. That and some purists don't believe our celebs just because. Yeah, but purists are gonna find a reason to hate on a lot of things, though.
I think there's too much like emotion behind it. Like, I'm gonna say it. I don't care. There's way too much hype and like love for the Attitude Era that just keeps getting dragged on. Like, oh, it's not the same. It's not the same. I'm not saying this directly at Ian because I know Ian's a big fan of the show. But I'm just saying, like, a lot of people, when they like try to compare certain things that are going on right now and whatnot, they do tend to just like use that as like the measurement. And like, you nailed it last week. Like, bro, the main event wasn't even that crazy. It was the mid card that was like doing all the work. Those were the stars that like were actual good matches. So like, again, like, if you're a purist, I like AEW. Like, you've heard me say this multiple times to you, but there's times where I watch AEW, I'm like, okay, the wrestling was sick, but like, fuck, what's the storyline? Like, I'm still complaining about something, but that's just like what I wanted, right? So it's like, I don't know. It gets like it's an interesting topic. Everyone loves to talk about it, and you can go longer about it, but there's so much wrestling available. Like, did you watch NXT Stand and Deliver at all?
No, I heard it was great though.
Fantastic. So like, the fact that SmackDown was whatever happened with SmackDown, and then you had like Stand and Deliver, and then you had Monday Night Raw, it was just like, okay, NXT kind of satisfied my craving for wrestling, I guess you could say.
There's something for everybody. So, you know, if something's not for you, just rest assured that maybe the next segment will be, you know,
100%.
Just doesn't need to be as much people. Like, there's a lot of angry people. You can give an opinion and criticize something without being angry about it. You know, you could still, you don't have to like it.
Yeah.
But it also doesn't have to make you mad. There's like there's a difference, you know. But we'll move on past it. I know that you were agreeing with me, by the way, Ian. We were just, you know, using your comments to continue, you know, feeding the conversation. But so anyway, we get to Danhausen and Speed. Danhausen won't uncurse Speed, and then obviously, what was I going to say? Speed. Adam Pearce walks up. And the Vision walks up, and they're basically like, "Dude, you're gonna get killed." Blah blah blah. Long story short, they all end up going to the Vision goes to the ring because Austin Theory is gonna fight LA Knight, and ultimately Austin Theory wins by pinfall by grabbing the tights, which I thought was really interesting.
Yeah.
I did not expect Logan Paul to take an L to Austin Theory. That was not on my bingo card. But
LA Knight.
Did I not say that? Did I say Speed?
I think you said Logan Paul.
Oh, that's my bad. Yeah, I didn't mean to say.
Okay.
I didn't have Austin Theory beating LA Knight on my bingo card at all. But what ends up happening is, they go after Speed. I think he gets pulled out of there by Logan Paul. Ultimately, long story short, LA Knight makes the challenge. The Usos and LA Knight versus I Show Speed in the Vision at WrestleMania. This is obviously, in my opinion, going to end with I Show Speed, turning on the Vision and them getting their comeuppance at WrestleMania. I'm very interested. I know you've got an opinion on this too. I'm very intrigued that the Usos are taking a back seat for WrestleMania. This is a big downgrade for them, especially Jey Uso after the last couple of WrestleManias. How was we're talking about Raw right now, Ian. Actually, this is what we're going after over, my friend. But so overall,
yeah, we got a little sidetracked. We just tend to do that.
Yeah, we do.
We're back on. We're back on business now.
We're still early on too. The only thing you missed was CM Punk. He had a great promo against Roman to start the show. Definitely recommend looking that up. Fire promo. But yeah, so overall, we booked this match. I actually was wondering if LA Knight was off the show, so I'm glad he's on it. I mean, I'm glad all these guys are on it. I'm always glad for wrestlers to get on the show, but definitely weird that the Usos are if I didn't know any better, I'd be like, oh yeah, they're like the lackeys of LA Knight. They didn't even speak. I think that LA Knight made the challenge. Like they didn't even talk.
No.
What do you think about all of this? And what do you think about the fact that the tag champs are going to be in a 6-man tag team match instead of defending their belts at WrestleMania?
Those are the three things I hate. Is that one, that 6-man match got put together with the tag titles now having no relevancy or I didn't understand what was the whole point of having the whole tag team division have two different titles not to be defended on your main card. At that point, just get rid of the tag titles. Right. And then the second thing too is exactly what you said, that the Usos, there was no mic available for them to speak. And LA Knight now is the leader of the bloodline.
Yeah.
And then the third thing too is I just hated how it got thrown together, but I also just don't care enough that I'm not gonna bitch about it.
No, I mean, I was trying to think of the tag team scene on Raw is kind of weak. I was trying to think of a tag team that I'm bummed out for.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't really think of one. I mean, you'd like to say they honestly I just run the New Day and the Usos back at WrestleMania. I mean, those guys have had a storied rivalry. I can't remember if they've faced at WrestleMania. I'm sure they have, but if they haven't, then they should have capitalized on it and done that. They're the two greatest tag teams of their generation. Or they should have just took the titles off of the Usos. I honestly didn't understand why they needed the tag team titles in the first place. Whatever happened to Chad Gable's group? The American Alpha Kids. Not you know what, you put the tag titles on.
Yeah.
Put the tag titles on Otis and Tozawa, by the way. Yeah, they should. But
yeah, if you're gonna make the tag division a joke anyways, may as well just put it on them too. And I'm not saying they suck or anything. I actually really like Otis and Tozawa. I'm just saying that if you're not gonna give it any importance, then just give them the belt.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, then you got I called them American Alpha, but I think they're not American Alpha. Obviously, they're not Alpha Academy either. I can't remember Chad Gable's. Is that what wasn't that Jason Jordan and Chad Gable?
I can't remember the name. There's too many American Alpha Americans, and too many Americanos and all this.
They split when Dupree started her single stuff versus Natty. So the two wrestling kids,
you're talking about the brothers though, right? You're not talking about you're talking about when Ivy,
when he was a heel, when he went heel,
Gable, and the two brothers. Yeah, I don't know if there's like an injury or something that happened, but whatever. They've messed it. This is the thing that I hate, is that like the tag division has a lot of talent. They just don't know what the fuck they're doing with it. Even NXT's tag division right now was like whatever, but even that match at Stand and Deliver was good.
I didn't care.
Yeah, the Creed brothers. But again, like, what happened? What's going with them? Every time there's a good tag team in NXT and they get called up, they have no clue what to do with them. This is why I'm saying like the tag division is it's cooked. Like, what's the point of even having tag titles?
Yeah, they need to focus on them again, and just like take the main event players out of it too. Like, I don't like Jey Uso I don't like the Usos having the tag belts right now, or probably any more for their careers, because Jey Uso's elevated to like main event level. And so when he's in tag team matches with Jimmy, I just feel like the stakes are taken out of it a little bit. I don't expect a team like I don't feel like Otis and Tozawa have a chance. I don't feel like the Creed brothers, if they fought them, have a chance. I feel like New Day does because they're the New Day. But like I want to like let the lower end tag teams, I don't know how you get the straps on them, but do it. And then let those guys like build the division up through great matches.
It's like if you've won the Intercontinental title multiple times and now you've been in the main title picture and you've won the main title picture a few times, it almost feels like challenging for the IC title is like your way to get back up there. But how many times are you going to challenge for the IC? Like, would Gunther make sense to go for the IC title right now or in the next couple months?
It should be that way, but the way the WWE books their like that title, it doesn't anymore. Like, it's actually the way that they're actually doing it well with the women right now, where they're booking that mid-card championship pretty strong. Like Becky Lynch caring as much as she does about the women's Intercontinental title has done wonders for that title. It makes it feel important.
But the women's tag division was doing well and then dropped the ball all of a sudden. They were hot at the start of the year and we're going into WrestleMania and you're like, I don't care. And it's because, I don't know, maybe because you added the Bellas. I don't know.
I can care less about the Bella twins.
Same here, yeah.
They're glory hogging. But yeah, I think the tag team scene in general could use a lot of work. The stories, if you're not going to tell stories in that division, then just have banger matches. Just like I don't know, and like use stipulations more. Like that lets tag teams get creative. Have a tag team tornado match. Have a tag team table match.
TLC.
You could put that. Yeah, we should be having a tag team TLC title match at Mania. Like, what happened to tables matches, dude? They don't ever have them anymore. I don't understand why WWE is so like stingy with their stipulations.
You know what they also need to bring back is the elimination tag.
I like that too.
They had that before where they had like a 4-man elimination tag. It's like you eliminate one guy, that team is out.
Yes. Like, I love that. You could even, get crazy, like do it tornado style, where everyone's in the ring at once. Like, it would be like anarchy, but it would result in some crazy ass matches. Have a tag team 2 out of 3 falls match. Like, why?
Yeah.
I don't understand why WWE is so stingy with the stipulations. You've got a million of them. Use them. Some of them don't get, like, when's the last time we've had a table match in WWE? It's been like years. Why? I mean, come on. Sheamus won his first WWE title with a tables match.
Yeah. I know we're gonna go into the next topic, but like that was it the IC title? Or sorry, was it the 6-man
What?
that happened right after that segment that we just talked about?
So after this segment, Michael Cole talks about how disappointed he is in Pat, and then we get to Dominic recovering from Dominic attacking Finn.
Okay, I'm gonna jump in on that one. I know you like to usually go and recap that one, but this one was one of my favorite things of the night. First of all, you've got JD expected to go against Finn Balor, right? And you're
Yes.
thinking, hey, this is going to be a sick match to have like 2 weeks before WrestleMania. And then it was perfect. Dominic Mysterio comes from behind, just jumps him. They beat his ass down. They make it so like entertaining to the point where like you're now bought into the storyline even more because you're like, damn, like Dom is just like taking it to Finn, and JD's actually like he's showing his cards. He's with Dom. But they dropped the ball by showing that vignette of him talking about the demon and then teasing it in the end with the end. And then it's now on the poster. That was like the perfect segment on Raw until they did that one last piece. Where's the surprises?
Oh, the surprise. Okay. Yeah.
Like we had this conversation weeks ago about Demon. But like
He could have just shown up at Mania. It would have been crazy.
Would have been a huge
no one would have
flop.
seen it coming. Yeah.
Or people were talking about already, and I know there was like that topic. I know I mentioned to you that like he doesn't want to spend that much time putting on like the paint and stuff like that. But still, like I don't want to announce that you're gonna show up as the demon. And I find it very hard to believe that like you have to turn into the demon to defeat Dom.
I don't think it. I didn't get the vibe that he needed to. I got the vibe that he wanted to.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
He wants to beat his ass extra hard.
So is he gonna squash him then?
I think it's going to be pretty close to a squash. I don't see Dom getting a whole lot of offense in against the demon. I think it's going to be a beatdown.
We'll see.
I mean, maybe if he does a bunch of dirty shit, which would be funny, if he's just like, employing the whole playbook, poking him in the eye, kicking him in the nuts, doing all the stuff. Said Demon Balor is back and they better not mess this up. If they mess this up, it's going to kill off his demon persona. I mean, yeah. I mean, they already almost messed it up. They almost ruined it with the Roman Reigns part.
Almost.
So, yeah. I mean,
almost. They definitely did.
This is my girl, by the way. She's everyone. Let her be. She's just talking shit.
Okay.
Love you, babe. We all know that wrestling is scripted, but we love it because it's a good show. Anyways,
sometimes
I'm gonna make her watch it with me when we live together, so she'll be a fan in no time. She won't even know what's happening, and then she'll be like, "I kind of like that guy." I'm like, "You're in now." Got you. No, you're good, babe. I'm just messing with you. So next we've got AJ Lee hype reel, and so they went into a Michael Cole interview with her, and he was going to obviously talk about how wild it was for her to be there after all this time, and then boom, Becky shows up, and they do a little, I don't know, like they do some shit talking. AJ's a little bit cringe, like slightly cringe when she talks trash right now. I don't know why. Not in a bad, like it's not bad, but like, I just don't, I don't know. what did she say? I'm trying to see if it said right here. Oh yeah, Becky saying that AJ quit because she knew that Becky was coming for her. I thought that was kind of a brilliant line by Becky. But like AJ saying that she, like, everyone's always underestimated her entire career. I mean, that's like, she's not an underdog. You're not an underdog anymore, AJ. You haven't been for a long time. But with that being said, um, I'm excited for this match. I feel like they did more. It wasn't the greatest little promo here, but they did more to sell their match, and they've done more to build this feud than they did with anything in the Rhea Ripley, Jade Cargill feud. So it's crazy that the women's Intercontinental title feels more important than the women's world title on SmackDown right now. But that's where we're at. AJ Lee versus Becky Lynch is probably the best long-term plan that they've built women's wise at WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, right? I won't disagree with you on that.
Like, why? Like, why is that the only title match out of you've got 4 single women's titles and a tag team title? I mean, and yeah, the one that got a long-term story that was capped off at WrestleMania was the Intercontinental title. Interesting.
Bro, there's so much I want to say, but I just want to end the recap and then maybe spend the last 10 minutes about all this stuff.
Babe, I just want to talk like real quick. So like they're kind of getting back to the way it used to be. It got pretty corny there for a little while, but it's getting better. I'm gonna make you watch with me, so you'll see. Yeah, but the Roman Reigns one is because Bray Wyatt was supposed to be his opponent, which would have been perfect for Demon Finn. Because she's old, she's trying to be non-controversial while everyone else is calling each other mom's whores. Okay, speaking of the women, did you guys see Liv Morgan's huge goose egg on her forehead from the segment yesterday?
Holy, that was bad.
Yeah, I would not be surprised if they don't have any physicality next week now. Like, they're going to be, like, pretty worried about stuff going on. Yeah, Stephanie, how did Stephanie Vaquer do that?
I think she didn't see how close they were. Because, like, when I was watching that live, and you heard it, it was like a hard thump. And then like, I don't know, because from the camera angle, they were so close that like when you see that she came from behind and like hit her, they literally went like smack dab, no pun intended there, but like, yeah, full goose egg.
Lucky she didn't get busted open.
And then she got smacked into the TVs. I don't think I think she obviously... The TV was fine, but head to head with Roxanne. And the best part too is the New Day took like photos together with the huge goose egg on her head, which is some of the stuff that I do like about social media when wrestlers are sharing like these like photos and stuff, you know, because they're just like, it's pretty funny.
It is funny, man. Yeah. That whole Stephanie Vaquer thing, they had to, like, why couldn't she cut that promo on her like live? She had to cut a pre-recorded promo. Is it because she can't speak English or what?
Yeah, probably.
It is what it is. I mean, I guess I don't mind, but I just know that the match is gonna be a banger, but like,
yeah,
I just wish the build for any of these women matches, other than Becky AJ, was better than it is. With that being said, I just feel like Liv is carrying this a little bit. I don't know. I like Stephanie, but I just don't know if she needs to be brought along a little bit slower or what. It feels like they're kind of like forcing her into the spot she's in right now, and I don't know if it's no.
Don't talk about Stephanie like that.
She's good, man. She's good, but I think her promo work just needs some a little bit more improvement there. But I'm also maybe salty because Julia's not getting the same rub. So, anyways, we got a trailer about Hulk Hogan, which I just want to briefly bring that
I'm
up.
gonna watch that. I honestly,
course.
like, I'm gonna watch it. I know there's a lot of people that are gonna complain about this or say their thoughts because he's a shitty person or this and that, bro. Regardless, you can't tell me that if there's any stories about everything from back in the day that you don't want to know it.
Yeah, I mean, and it looks like it's actually a pretty candid version of Hulk. It kind of looks like he peeled the curtain back and was Terry Bollea a little bit. So I'm very interested to see how it comes across. I hope it doesn't kiss his ass too much. Like, you got to be real. Yeah. It's got to be like the Vince McMahon doc. Let's tell the real story.
Well, there's the Shawn Michaels one coming out too, right? So
same thing. Let's be real. I mean, we all know, like, we all know the truth, or we know what happened behind the scenes with all these things. Like, let's just keep it real. And as long as it's a comprehensive documentary that tells the full story, then I won't be mad about it. At the end of the day, like, what Michael Cole said on the podcast was true, or on the show was true. Like, yes, Hulk Hogan's a piece of shit, but he's also, like, along with Vince, a big reason why wrestling is what it is today. And there might not be pro wrestling without Hulk Hogan's existence. Like, it's impossible to say because he literally made wrestling in the 80s for so long. Like, when I was growing up, if I told one of my family members I liked wrestling, they're like, "Oh, Hulk Hogan," like that's the response. So, it is what it is. I'm curious to see it. What are you thinking? The Hogan thing was well past done when he passed away. They've been editing and stuff like that for years because they thought they were going to can it. I mean, like I said, I'm still interested to watch it. As long as it's a candid recollection of his time from start to finish.
Yeah.
But all right, moving on from there, Seth Rollins came to the ring and talked about Gunther. He thought for sure that Paul Heyman and Gunther were in cahoots. Gunther ends up coming out, jumping him, beating his ass a little bit. And also, Seth Rollins made note that he wants his World Heavyweight Championship back. Interesting. Yeah. I would expect that to carry on. That's probably going to be the immediate title match after WrestleMania. So whether they go with Roman or Punk, you've got a really interesting story to tell there.
I don't think so, because I think a certain somebody is coming back and going to be pulled away.
Is Dean Ambrose supposed to show back up in WWE? That's what I assume you're talking about.
There is rumors. I don't know if it's true, but supposedly Braun Breaker was cleared.
Oh, that guy, yeah,
that guy, the spear guy, him. I think his uncle was a wrestler.
Yeah, Big Papa Pump, our newest follower.
His uncle.
Isn't his uncle? I thought you said his uncle. Oh no, you said his father, Rick Steiner.
Yeah, I was joking, but then
I'm sorry, I lost it.
Okay, I understand this one, Ian, because I was fatigued by Seth. But at the same time, you have to remember one thing is that he has reinvented himself. You don't have to agree with me, by the way, but he has reinvented himself just as many times as Chris Jericho has. And I feel like Seth Rollins is going to be one of those names. When he's gone, we are going to miss him because he showed up every week. He is still one of those guys, even when he was world champion and he wasn't wrestling every week, still showed up, still did his promos, still delivered. Like, he didn't shortcut anything. Did he get injured a few times? Yeah. Is his laugh really annoying? Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I think the other thing with the fatigue is it's always the same guys that are really stepping up. You know, you want new white meat baby faces.
I would actually be fine with him. I'm fatigued by him in the world heavyweight title picture. I'll say that.
Fair.
I think as long as he's not fighting for the title, I'm cool with Seth. You can't expect him to just be gone, you know. He
So
was
that's
gone for a while.
why, yeah, and that's why I pushed back on you when you said I think after WrestleMania he's immediately going for the world title, because I think he doesn't need to be in the world title picture. I think if Braun Breaker does get involved, then that story gets dragged out. I don't know when Bronson Reed's going to come back, but the guy's a beast. I mean, he did come back very quickly the last time. I wouldn't even be surprised that when Seth is done with Braun, that Bronson shows up. Might not see Seth in the title picture till late next year.
Fair enough. Yeah, I think like what Ian's saying here is that he's pretty much just fatigued from him in the world title picture as well. Yeah, I think it's time for fresh faces there.
Yeah.
So I actually hope that Braun wins his feud with Seth, because I think it's time for Braun to be in that picture. I think it's time for, I don't know if maybe his promo needs a little more work, but if you're gonna stick him back with Paul, then he's fine. He's good. So,
and I think that's why some people are not getting pushed aside, because one thing you made me think about last week when we went off the show is that, like, yeah, the main event has 4 guys that are like in their 40s, but none of the younger guys can deliver promos and do what they're doing. That's why they're in the main event. So, like, until one of these new guys can actually deliver a promo week after week after week and do it consistently, I don't think we're going to see Seth Rollins drop down, or CM Punk or Roman. Like,
that's why Trick Daddy needs to just be given the ball to run with it. He can cut that promo, baby.
Yeah. Let's finish Raw, because I have something I really want to get your thoughts on.
Let's zoom through, because there was Raw actually a lot happened. So, okay, real quick, Gunther and Paul talked backstage, and it was made apparent that there was no partnership, but Gunther bullied Paul and told him that he's going to owe him so much more than a thank you. Curious to see where that goes. They're both heels. So for now,
Minnesota.
Maybe this is we'll see what happens, man. I'm curious. If it somehow results in Braun Breaker or Brock Lesnar versus Gunther, then I'm here for it. Either one would be dope. Then we get Dragon Lee. We get a 3-man tag match, 6-man tag. Dragon Lee, Javon Evans, and Penta versus Los Americanos. Really fun match. Javon Evans has so much talent, dude. I don't know if there's ever been someone with as much hops as him. I used to think that Montez Ford was like you couldn't top him. Javon Evans does, dude. He's got more athleticism than him. Like, he could jump higher. Javon is crazy. The amount of height he gets on his cutter is crazy. Cody needs to stop doing the Cody cutter, because his looks like shit compared.
Yeah.
Like,
agreed.
I actually want Javon to win the IC title at WrestleMania, low key.
Me too.
Even though I love Penta, I like a lot of guys in that match, but that match is probably going to. I love it.
This didn't make any sense, by the way, but I was like, I'll just wear the shirt.
No, I mean, it does kind of, because he got entered into the match at WrestleMania this weekend.
All of a sudden, he's cleared. Respectfully.
I mean, that's what they're saying. But
I think he went into business for himself. I'll be controversial here.
Do you think Rey Mysterio went into business for himself? Why?
Because he was supposed to go against Gunther.
Okay. So you just think he didn't want to face him?
Like, maybe he didn't want to retire.
I don't know if they're making people retire if they face Gunther. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild. you're gonna retire this week. But I don't know. Maybe there's some truth to your statement, but I'd rather see Seth and Gunther at WrestleMania than Ray and Gunther. Like, I cannot buy into Rey Mysterio is going to threaten Gunther whatsoever.
No, of course not.
So
I was kidding.
Okay. You never know. I mean, maybe he did go into business for himself, but
I wasn't.
Okay. You say don't walk it back if you meant it.
I meant it. I'll say it with my chest.
There you go. But we end up getting the Los Americanos take the L, and then post match, Rey Mysterio surprises everybody, comes out to the ring, and says that he's excited for their tag or their IC title ladder match next week, but there's a problem. They need one more guy, and Rey Mysterio puts himself in the match because he's an egotistical piece of garbage. No, I'm just kidding.
Deadbeat father.
Deadbeat dad doing deadbeat stuff over and over again. Can't even get his own son in the match, but he put himself in. I guess that's just how he's rolling. But no, dude, I mean, think about a ladder match with Javon Evans, friggin' Penta, Dragon Lee, and Rey Mysterio is crazy. Then JD McDonough as well. And then I think, am I forgetting someone? I think I am. I think there's another person. But it's a crazy match. Like the entrance or wild. Who? Rusev. He's the one guy that doesn't make sense. He's the powerhouse that'll like kind of be like there for all the young guys to like, I don't know, do their crazy shit.
Stockpile the ladders on top of him.
Yeah, that too. But yeah, you gotta have one powerhouse in those matches. Like they used to have like Kane in ladder matches, and I always used to laugh. I'm like, he's not winning this, but
yeah,
he's in it though.
Yeah.
Bring back Ryback so he can retire by Gunther. I like this idea. This is a A1 idea from Ian. I wouldn't mind Ryback if he's just gonna get squashed by Gunther in about 5 minutes. No, okay.
Not right back.
We just want to see him get embarrassed. But
if you want to see him get embarrassed, then just go on his X account.
Nice. All right. Then we had BFAB and me inexplicably on this Raw versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky.
It's so bad.
Cool. Io Sky wins the match with a roll up on BFAB. I'm so glad that we did this. But what they get is Jade Cargill comes to the ring and or she was, I can't remember, she might have been out there already. They end up just ganging up on them, and Rhea Ripley gets like handcuffed or whatever, and they just beat Io down in front of her with a, what was it, a kendo stick?
Yeah.
So I mean, at this point, I'm gonna just say it. They're shipping Rhea and Io. They're totally dating. That was totally like the Triple H and Stephanie McMahon angle with Randy Orton back in the day. The only difference was that
would have been more entertaining, actually.
The only difference was that Jade didn't kiss Io afterwards, but pretty much the same concept. I mean, I get it. They must be feeling like us, and they didn't feel like the build was raising the stakes enough. It wasn't working. This was their way of trying to get personal stakes into the match. I mean, I thought it was obvious though. I thought it was like a desperate attempt to get people to care more. And it should be more about the fact that these two titans are going against each other. Like these two, larger than life female wrestlers. Instead, it's getting off the rails. It's becoming about everyone but Rhea and Jade. It's about, oh yeah, Michin and BFAB defected. Oh, now Io's getting beaten up. I don't know, man. I'm not into it.
In my honest opinion, I feel like if they rewinded this, it would have made more sense if it was like Rhea and Jade go into this WrestleMania and they have their match, and then B-Fab and Michin show up and they interfere and like screw Rhea over to give it like a shock wave rather than what they did on SmackDown weeks ago. Because this is like forcing it. Like, why? You're taking away the title importance over like a friendship importance.
Yeah. Like there's like she's like now Rhea cares as much as she should because EO got beat down in front of her, or what? She should have already cared. There's just no chemistry. There's no chemistry between those two as opponents right now. Sometimes it doesn't work. It's not working. So I don't know what the problem is. I don't know. All I know is that I hope that they can pull it off at Mania. I want to hope that they can have a good match. I definitely don't know who's going to win, which will help it, but we'll see what happens. We'll definitely let EO know that, you're already with her, Ian, that you're already with Rhea. So we'll make sure that she knows that she can't be moving in on your lady. So then we okay, then after that they show the Judgment Day in the clubhouse, and Roxanne wants to know why Finn got kicked out, but before they could talk about it, which is, I think that's a really interesting thing that they started there, because you would maybe insinuate that there's going to be some beef between Liv Morgan and Roxanne. I'm kind of. But then before anything can happen, Stephanie Vaquer decides to lay into Liv Morgan and gives her the biggest goose egg on her forehead of all time. And so going from there, we finally get to the main event, which honestly, dude, I'm going to say that this was a little bit of I was let down a little bit by the way they booked this. I mean, it was all right, but the Oba Brock contract signing, first of all, they never even signed the contract. So is this going to happen or what?
Well, it's on the first hour on ESPN.
I've seen that. I feel like they're doing that. They put it as the main event of the first hour on ESPN. I feel like they're doing that to maybe try to get subscriptions. That's definitely why they're doing it.
Yeah. Then that better be a fucking banger. Otherwise,
maybe that's why they're doing it as like they've been calling it, like Paul Heyman's been calling it the real main event. I don't know. It's definitely a subscription grab. So like the rest of it is on Netflix for everybody, right? Yeah. Did I read? So it's annoying. We're gonna have to like flip to the other. I guess you won't be with me for that. Like, but I'm gonna have to like flip midstream to a different whole service. It's stupid, but whatever. I mean, so Lesnar comes to the ring. Oba comes to the ring. Big reaction for Oba. He's so over, man. Crowd loves him. And Lesnar jumps him before he could even get in the ring. I want to know, actually, you watched that part, right? Like, did it feel like Oba botched the overhead belly to belly, or did he mean to like just land on him like that? I thought
I have no clue, and I feel like at the end too, the way they just like cut it off, I was like, okay, that's it. Like I felt like it was a pretty decent Raw, and that one kind of just left me like, okay.
They should have, if that was the way that was going to work out, they should have just made that the opener and put CM Punk's promo last. I don't know, like Lesnar threw the chair at him. It didn't even really hit him. Oba threw it back. It didn't hit him. Oh, wow. They threw it. They threw the chair. It was funnier than it was serious. I was like, that chair is nothing for them. It's just a chair.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Did you watch the off-air stuff?
No.
There's like a video off-air, like where he threw like the steel steps into the ring. But again, it was just more of like a hype video. I think it felt like more of like a, oh my God, it ended in like chaos kind of thing. But I don't know. It didn't land for me personally.
Yeah. I mean, they don't need to sell me on this anymore. I'm extremely hyped about it. I don't know what they could have done this week to make it any better. I just don't. I actually would have preferred if they talk a little bit, just a little bit. Like they don't have to do a lot of it. Are they scared to put Oba on the mic? I don't understand. I know that they're supposed to be selling how much they hate each other, but like, and that they're like uncontrollable, but they haven't sold this with their words one time yet. It's just been Paul.
Yeah, and fairy dust.
Yeah, and just fists, which I guess with those two is like all you really need, but they could have done some shit with this. Like, I don't know if I would have loved it, but they could have done like an arm wrestling contest. Like, two big dudes, you know. They could have sold that well. Brock could have, you know, put him over with that. I don't know, man. There's a lot of stuff that happened on Raw, but a lot of it landed flat. It was a really long Raw.
It was,
and I feel like we're clearly, I just want to get to WrestleMania at this point, which is, it kind of sucks. Like other WrestleManias in the past, like The Rock, when The Rock was here doing the final boss stuff, like you looked forward to every week so much to see what he was going to do next. And the main events of this show, it doesn't. The Pat McAfee thing did hook me. I'm excited for that with Randy, but Roman not being on Raw is a big. It's a big downer, for that feud, and that's main eventing night 2.
I'm very worried for next week, to be honest with you. I don't know how it's going to land on Monday and Friday. I'm going to still give them the benefit of the doubt because I am relatively pretty positive about them. I know there's some stuff I hate and I don't hate, but yeah, I don't know.
Oh, that's cool. It's dope. Ian works as Ian's a wrestler, by the way, an independent wrestler.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about next week too, man. I'm worried that they've kind of already played all their cards, and I'm worried that next week is going to be mostly just like them talking. It's going to be a recap show
and commercials and ads. But if they have Danhausen, we're good.
We'll probably get the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal on SmackDown.
We might even get a MFT versus Wyatt 6 kind of thing, maybe. I don't know.
I can't wait. But you had some thoughts here that you wanted to give bring at the end of the show.
I actually think we should do a separate special episode about this topic, because I think it's going to be one of those ones where we might go an extra 30 or 45 minutes. And I know there's a lot of people watching right now, so I think we could wrap this one up and then talk about it on a separate. We'll figure out.
Yeah, fair enough. No, that's cool. We've already been here for almost an hour and a half, so one day we'll figure out how to get it down to an hour. But we appreciate everybody that came to hang out and listen to this recap of Raw. We apologize that, I guess on behalf of WWE, that they're not giving us a whole lot of exciting content. We're kind of recapping, and it's kind of like ho-hum. But when the best part of the show came right at the beginning with CM Punk, and he had to do it by himself, it's not really a good sign.
No.
But hopefully WrestleMania will live up to the cards hype, because even though the builds again have been bad, the matches should be good. So hopefully everybody else feels the same way.
And if you don't, come watch us on our podcast after and tell us how you feel.
There you go. But that'll do it for tonight's show. Appreciate everybody. Are we going to do the thing? We're going to do the thing?
We'll do the thing.
All right. Love it. All right, everybody. Have a great night and enjoy the rest of your week. And we will see you on Saturday. Peace.